Hey y'all, I'm Abigail Israel, and this is Ladies Night Out. And the girls are shaking, okay?
The San Jose Police Department is shaking because we just found out that their executive director has been trapping overseas. She was selling fentanyl for years. Let's talk about it.
We have Krissy Clemons with us today. Thank you for coming. I want you to introduce yourself.
This is awesome. This is a blessing. What's up, y'all? I'm Krissy, y'all. Everybody hate Krissy here. And like she said, the girls are shaking. We in the building. Let's do it.
So what is it, for the people who don't know, what do you do? Like, what is your title?
I'm a news anchor. Yes, I'm a news anchor. I do news on social media.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure y'all have seen her. I mean, I want to point out first that she is so funny to me, y'all. I know it's the news. I know sometimes you should not be laughing at these stories, but it's so funny, y'all. So first thing I want to get into, I seen you post on your story about your alma mater.
Oh, yes. Central State University.
Okay.
Yes, we got a new member, Fantasia Barrino.
What?
Fantasia's enrolled at Central.
Oh, that's dope.
Yes, he's about to start at Central.
That's dope. I love that for Fantasia.
She just did her candlelight visual.
That's what's up.
Yes.
And she's on campus.
She's about to be on campus. It's giving move to Wilberforce. We have another legend. That's not our first legend.
Who's the first? Or who's some other ones?
Central? Mm-hmm. Who's Paul Robeson, one of the first black actors in America. That's up there with like a James Earl Jones.
Yes,
thing.
I remember that now. He was really tall and
Nancy
big.
Wilson, the jazz singer.
Mm-hmm.
Who else went to Central? I'm sure a lot of people went to Central back in the day, in the 80s and 90s. You know, Bayard Ruskin went to Wilberforce. Okay. We're the second HBCU ever invented.
Yes, I do remember reading that. So what did you go to school for?
Broadcast, media, and journalism. I went to school for news.
Okay.
So that's why I got my
degree. You knew ahead of time that this is what you wanted to do.
Oh yeah, how not to get sued. I had to take media law like twice. I went to school for this.
That's what's up. Okay, so after school, what did you go into before? Did you go into content creating, doing your news in college, or did that come out later on?
While I was in college and then after, I was a videographer and a photographer for 10 years. So my entire 20s, I was on the road with different artists, different events. I was a videographer, photographer. So I was background and now I'm talent.
That's what's up. How was that? What was that like? Traveling all over the place?
Well, from the perspective of my family, they weren't really feeling it because I never really had a solid apartment. I would stay with my cousins, Carmen and Cameron. I would stay with my cousin Kyra, and I would stay with my friends, or I would stay on a tour bus. Mm-hmm. Or I would be in and out of my friends' houses. I never really had a home. I liked it that way. I didn't have any kids. My family wasn't feeling it, though.
Right.
It was cool, though. I learned a lot about sexism. I learned a lot about being a woman in the industry to the point where I didn't really know that till I hit the road. Mm-hmm. There's not too much misogyny in dating. There's not like, oh, you can't do this because you're a woman.
Right.
They didn't tell you that, but it's a lot more of that on the road. But I beat that.
In certain industries too, like not necessarily a city, but when you get into certain industries and try to do certain things, you experience it for sure. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. So you said you were doing that for 10 years. When did you start your channel, your news channel? Or did you go into something else before that?
I was a videographer, photographer all the way up until then. I had a YouTube show called Radio Killed the Video Star where I reviewed K-pop. And
hold on, wait. Yeah. You reviewed K-pop? You like K-pop?
Reviewed K-pop videos. Well, what happened was I have an interest, and my aunts are basically adopted Koreans. All they do is watch Korean movies and Korean TV. Both of my aunts on my dad's side, so they like engulfed me into that. But one of my videos went a little viral, and then I just continued to do K-pop because people like that. I tried to start doing hip-hop, but
it didn't get the attention as the K-pop.
It didn't get the attention the K-pop did. And, you know, I was just anything to make it.
Right.
But how I got on TikTok and got big, okay, it's kind of a spooky story.
I want to hear it.
Okay, I'll make it quick because I don't want to be long-winded.
No, take your time.
Okay, so I have a best friend. My best friend's name is Germany. She's also famous on TikTok for makeup. Mm-hmm. She has prophetic dreams.
Oh, really?
Yes. I don't dream that often. People have dreams about me. I do not dream. People will tell me dreams they had. Mm-hmm. So, but if Germany has a prophetic dream, everybody listens. Mm-hmm. So she had been trying to get me on TikTok. She had been TikTok famous for a year. So had our other best friend, Josh. He's famous on TikTok for comic books.
Okay.
Marvel, toys, games, music, and he was Twitter famous. So when she first got on TikTok, I saved my name. I saved Everybody Hate Krissy, but I didn't use it for a year. So one day, me and my friend Natalie, another Virgo, we came to Germany's house. In Germany, we're about to go to a party. She came out of her room and she's like, I had a dream about you. Immediately, me and Natalie sat down. Oh, Germany had a dream. Everybody look alive. She said she had a dream that I was on TikTok. She was looking at it on an Android phone. She said I was dancing and I was doing really good, but it was bad quality. Okay. She was like, it was real blurry. And I was like, what was I doing? She was like, I was dancing. She's like, but I was killing it.
Right.
She said she could tell I was killing it. So I was like, okay, now I need to start TikTok. So literally that night before we left, I was like, that means I have to start today. So that night before we left, she said, every time you come to my house, you watch the news. She's like, you watch T channels, you watch news channels. She's like, there's no specific T news person on TikTok. She's like, that's going to be you. And I started that night. And that night I went viral.
Shut up. Shout out to Germany.
February 1st. Yeah. February 1st, 2021.
Wow. That is a interesting story.
I know that's a lot, but yeah, that's what happened.
And when you said T news, you're talking about TikTok news, right?
Just news in general. She was like, there's nobody on there that covers news that's like the hottest girl. Like, there was no top one.
Right.
There was no Michael Jordan.
Where did the girls are shaking come from?
It's something I said as a joke. On my first video, I went in Germany's bathroom and did it immediately. We don't play with our dreams.
Right.
I went in her bathroom, did it immediately, and I did a story on Wendy Williams saying she messed with Method Man.
Okay.
Back in the day. Yeah. And I just said the girls are shaking being funny. So then when I didn't say it after that. Then that video went viral. Then people, when I went out, they would say that to me.
Like the girls are shaking.
So I just said it all the time.
Now it's yours.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then I bought it.
So you're doing this thanks to Germany. When did you get to the point where you like, I need to do this full time? You know, because you're a videographer, you're doing photography. When did you say, this is what I want to do full time? Like, this is profitable?
Now, this might not work for everyone. I'm definitely an ABC person. But this was my only plan.
Oh, really?
This was my only plan, to be a star, to be in media, to make movies and things like that. This was my only plan. My plan is to eventually make movies, but this was it. I didn't have a backup. I was like, either I'm going to be a star or I'm going to be on the street.
No, for real.
Yeah, for real.
For real. Where do you think that motivation to be a star, to be in media came from? Where did that come from?
Well, when I was younger, I had a very encouraging grandma. I like to say that by my grandma, I was not raised, I was cultivated. She had my poems published when I was like in 3rd or 4th grade. I was in gifted classes. All my teachers were handpicked. I had that kind of education because she was a teacher.
Yeah.
So it was reading. I brought my books to kindergarten. So I was always bred to be great.
Yeah, she was always putting it in you and had you confident in yourself, because I think that happens with a lot of kids. They lose their confidence and their belief in themselves at a young age. So whatever they could have done, they don't even get to reach that because they've lost that.
And some kids are gifted and they have no person that gets that.
Yes.
I've met people who were gifted children in science and in robotics, but their parents only understood sports.
Right.
So it was like that. I had somebody that just happened to be cultivated in education.
That's so crazy you bring that up, because I have a daughter. She plays a lot of sports. And I played sports in high school and in middle school, but I was more of an artistic person. Yeah. So I was into books and writing and poetry and, dancing, just anything creative. And I tried to push that on her in the beginning because I thought, like, she's my child, she's gonna love it too. But she just wasn't. I took her to see a stage play, August Wilson, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I loved it. I cried. It was the bomb. But she just not into art as much as I want her to be. She liked it, but she's not into it. So that is very, very true. Like, sometimes you try to push what you think is the best way on your kids, and it's not. It's not good.
Mentor. She's a Phil Jackson to her Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Yeah.
She does. She definitely does. And she has that in various coaches, but it was just like I was kind of salty about that in the beginning. Like,
yes, my dad always told me he had no expectations for us.
Yeah.
The children are going to tell you who they are.
And that's true. That's very true. So you started on TikTok. When did you branch off into Instagram? Was that immediately, or did you wait.
Oh, shout out to this. There's this guy, this comedian named Craig Smith. Shout out to Craig. He actually had a meeting with me in LA, and he told me to get on Facebook because they pay the most.
Okay, I was gonna ask you about that too, because I seen you post that.
Yeah, he told me that they pay the most. So I'm the type of person, I'm raised by a military man. I'm very obedient.
Okay.
I do what I'm told, and I do it like immediately. So as soon as he said get on Facebook, I did it.
Okay.
Made the business page, took the steps. But my agent, she encourages anybody that's on social media. The goal of social media is to post on as many platforms as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Do not just be a TikTok person. Do not just be a Twitter person. I have to post on Snapchat, YouTube now.
Mm-hmm.
I have to post on, if there's a new platform, she's like, I have to post on that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about being on all of them.
Right. And is it true? Does Meta pay the most?
Yes. But then after that is YouTube.
Okay.
A friend of mine just told me to start monetizing on YouTube. I have to have 1,000 subscribers, which I just got, and 4,000 watch hours.
That's true.
The 4,000 watch hours I don't have. And when I had the K-pop channel, I didn't have the 1,000 subscribers.
Mm-hmm. But you had the watch hours.
Yeah, I definitely had the watch hours because I had 10K views on there sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So what is the process of getting monetized? Because I know that you work with brands and you do deals like that. What was that process like for you?
On which platform?
All of them. I know you just said that on YouTube you're waiting for the watch hours. What about, do you get paid off TikTok?
Yes. A lot of times you have to be invited. On TikTok in particular, I was on something called the Creative Fund, and you have to be invited. You have to have like 10,000 followers, a certain amount. You have to be over 18. But I just took myself out of the Creative Fund. I just cut it off this month to try to get into something called Creativity Program Beta.
Okay.
Because the lady that works with me on Roku channel on my television show, she got paid like $3,000 on TikTok this month, to where on my TikTok I might only get like $200 to $300.
Mm-hmm.
But she showed me she made $3,000, so I'm waiting to get invited into that program. With Facebook, you have to go on your computer, you have to download your Meta Business Suite. It's gonna connect your Instagram and your Facebook, and then it's gonna invite you. I'm gonna throw a class soon called Social Sauce 101 and explain all of this. 25 to 30 Black creators, and she had an opportunity with Roku channel. First of all, I have TV shows. Now, my TV show is called The Girls Are Shaking. I'm going to start keeping up with it. I haven't been able to keep up with it like I did last year because I needed an editor, but I just hired one yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So, at one point I was the second highest viewed, and now I need to get back on that.
Right.
But we get paid by advertisements, and I have a TV show.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And you can get to it by just going to Roku, searching.
Yes. Now, the way Stephanie would like to set it up, she would like for people to subscribe to me and pay every month. But I'm just want it to be free for the people and then get paid through advertisements. I want the people just to be able to enjoy me. But it's one of those things where I will always leave it open, but I need to get more serious on it. Can you believe having a TV show and you're not doing it right?
I mean, hey, trial and error. We got to go through some, few little bumps. Yeah.
When you're doing anything like this, just before you commit to anything, develop a team first. Get a solid editor, because I don't have the 5 to 7 hours to edit my show and do TikTok and take pictures and do brand deals. Like, I have to eat, sleep, and low-key have a life.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to buckle down as well. So we'll, I'm probably gonna do a TV show today.
And that's crazy. A lot of content creators, that's their same issue, the editing. Like, that's very time consuming. And we wonder why editors, charge for their time and don't play about it, because it's not easy. It's not easy at all. You do news. How do your research process for your stories? Is that time consuming as well?
Yes.
Because you go into good detail.
Yeah, that takes me like 3 to 4 hours. I may have to watch whole interviews. When I still have to do the real Boston Richie story. Excuse me.
The snitching.
Because he really didn't snitch. He told on somebody that shot his cousin, which wasn't his friend. To me, the definition of snitching is if we go in to do a crime together and I tell on you, that's snitching, and that's what Gunna did.
Right, but I believe that to most people it's like you post. They feel like probably because he's like a street guy, he's supposed to handle it in the streets.
Right, and now that's been the reason why I haven't been able to do that story yet, because I've had such opposing arguments.
Right.
That's why I haven't done it. It's taken me so long, because I've had literal battles with street niggas where they're like, Krissy, that's still snitching.
Yeah.
There's no way that could be snitching. If you shoot at my cousin, I'm calling the police.
You should.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go get retaliation on you. I'm
not have to go to jail.
I'm calling police in front of you. Like, but if we do a crime together, that's nuts, and I get that. But I had to watch his interrogation video. That was a 3-hour interrogation, and he also doesn't speak legibly.
Because he's country.
Yeah. So I gotta decipher. So that takes hours.
Wow. And then you got to look at, articles. What people are saying, articles,
But somebody's got to watch that 3-hour interview. So that's 3 hours out of my day. I just watched an interview. Girl. So research takes time. It's okay. The best thing is going to happen is with more money, I'll be able to develop a team. I won't have to be 10 people.
So I was looking at your Instagram and I see that you, for your, like you were talking about your pictures.
Yes. I got a slutty Instagram.
I was not going to say that.
It's okay, y'all.
No.
I understand.
I like it, though. It's confident. It's like...
It's got me in trouble before.
With who?
Just different situations I haven't been able to...
Be in a relationship?
No. Well, no. Niggas don't care. Especially this generation. There's certain things I haven't been able to be a part of, or certain brand deals I haven't gotten because I'm sexy. But they can't decipher being sexy and being smart.
Girl, speak on it. Say it again.
Yeah, they can't differentiate the two, but somebody got to do it.
And that's crazy because when you are, posting how you post on Instagram, your pictures, people will automatically assume that you are this type of person, like you said, being sexy and being smart. They can't see you as anything else other than just a body or sex or that's it. And that's irritating.
Curry to be smart type of girl.
Your Instagram, were you always like that, or did you come, like, was that something that you came into as you got older, or was you always like, this is me?
I was always like that. My mom tells this story all the time, so annoying. When I was 5, my grandma bought me like some sparkly bathing suit with like the sides cut out. And my mom was like, okay, you cannot wear that today. And I kicked and screamed, and I came downstairs with it on. I was like, girl, it's giving, and I wear it today.
Right.
I said what I said.
As you should.
In the house. Like, girl, where you going?
Yeah, and I believe you, when you have a beautiful, whether you, like, your hair looks good, you want to show it off. Your body looks good, you want to show it off. And it's not even about other people. It's just the confidence in yourself. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, and I feel like I have this theory, when I'm 80, and I'm making movies, and I'm, Ava DuVernay, when I'm in my 50s and 60s, I'm gonna look a mess. You know what I mean? Like, when I'm somebody's mom, I'm gonna let my body be whatever it's gonna turn into be if I get a body makeover. And I'm gonna look back and be like, badass bitch.
Period.
It gave.
Yeah. I did what I came to do.
Yeah, I'm like, look at me. I picture titties warming up my knees. I'm like, but look at me when I was 30.
You don't think you'll get into plastic surgery?
Yeah, probably. You know me? I always said that I always want a bunch of kids and I'll have a mommy makeover. I'll put everything back where it was. But, when you're 80, you're not going to be thinking about that. Right. You might be a little tighter. You might look like Jada Pinkett's mom, a little fit, get a gammy.
Yeah.
But you're still somebody big mama. Like, chill out. I'm going to be able to look back and be like, I was cold.
Right. And I let the world know.
In my youth. Because I can't get it back.
No, for real. So you lived in California for a little bit.
Yeah.
How was that?
I lived in California on and off for years, and Atlanta on and off for years. I first moved to California as soon as I got out of college in 2015 to 16, and that was lit because of the people I met. And then I remember the day of the tornado, or the tornado, or whatever. I had a boyfriend for 5 years, and we were gonna move back here, but the day of the tornado, he was like, we're leaving, and we drove all the way back to California.
Really?
And then we moved to stay in the Bay Area. So I lived in Southern California, and then I lived in the Bay Area. I lived in both.
And what made you move back, to Ohio after that?
We broke up, and I wanted to hang out with my family. I can't get these years back with my family.
Yeah.
The people I grew up with, my school, the people I care about. I spent the weekend with my grandma. I can't do that in California.
Okay. What advice would you give to someone who's wanting to get into content creating via any social site? What would you tell them?
Let's do like 3. Okay, first things first. Separate business and personal. These people are not your friends. Quit thinking they're your friends. Quit thinking they owe you something. Quit thinking they don't got to pay you. Quit thinking you don't got to pay them. Quit thinking that they can't fire you. Quit thinking you can't fire them. I do not have friends in the industry. My editor is not my friend. I just hired him yesterday and I told him that. I said, we're not homies.
Period, Drake.
You can get fired.
And that's word to Aubrey Graham.
But I also have to pay you. You know, he's explaining to me his life story. That was beautiful and I appreciate that, but I didn't need it. You know what I mean? I just need to know how you edit. There's a rules and set and standard that you feel like you're more comfortable pushing when that's not your friend. And you have to keep it that way. I don't play about that. We don't need to feel like we're spiritual friends or none of that. We're at work.
Right, that's true.
I don't believe in work friends, but some people have the best work friends. Go off.
But
that's not me technically.
Keeping it separated avoids a lot of mishaps. Like when you know how to separate business and personal, you avoid a lot of bull crap. I never suggest doing business with somebody who you really have like a strong personal relationship, family. To me, I don't think that's a good idea. I've always seen it not go very well.
And that works for some people. They hire their whole family and it works. But it ain't for everybody.
Yeah. So, and what else besides that would you advise to someone getting started?
Okay, so let's see the second, because we're going to do 3. The second one would be you can't give up, even if you don't like your numbers. If you might get 100 views today, you might get 1 million views tomorrow. You can't let that affect how you feel about yourself, about your personality. I've had friends that are in this industry that have nervous breakdowns when it comes to their numbers, them not getting accepted for certain stuff. And I don't believe in giving up. That's not even something I even have a second thought about. So I encourage everybody not to give up. And I really, really mean it.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I don't care if you've been doing this for 15 years. It'll be that 16th year and you'll be lit. Now, the best example of that is Tabitha Brown.
Yeah.
She was on Will and Grace. She had no money for like 20 years. Her husband was taking care of her. She went viral off of a video of a sandwich from Whole Foods. Now she's in Target. Now she got a kids show. Now she's a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
She didn't give up. You cannot give up. If you give up, if you're a giver-upper, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. It's a marathon, not a race. If you gotta stick it out. It's not even about who has the most talent, who's the best. My dad used to tell me that growing up, like, that's half the battle. It's really about discipline and consistency. Like, who gonna stay in the race the longest, not who just gonna come in, sprint, and get out. You really gotta stick it out with anything you're doing. So what she's saying is facts, and I would advise the same thing.
And to speak on the talent part, there are some people, now this is an argument, you tell me what you feel about it. Everybody doesn't have it. That's a conversation that people don't bring up a lot. Everybody's not a star. I've seen some people work for a really, really, really long time, and they just don't have that star power. And it's like nobody's low-key gonna tell them because they're so motivational and they're so hardworking, but they don't have that spark that's going to get them to the next level. But if I wasn't a news girl, I would be a videographer. If I wasn't a videographer, I'd be a sound girl. Like, find your niche and go crazy in it. Everybody's not in front of the camera.
And that's true. Don't be afraid to try out different things. Yeah. Because I used to feel bad about that. Like, I used to try so much different stuff. Like, and I feel like it was inconsistent, but it wasn't inconsistent. I'm really trying to find my niche even still.
What made you feel bad about it?
Because it's like, oh, now she's doing this. Now she's acting. Now she's writing stage plays. Now she's writing books. Now she's doing all this stuff.
To me, it's the same realm.
It is the same realm. Yeah. I said that in my last interview. It's always been the same realm since I was 8. It always revolved around writing and being creative. Yeah. But I just was trying to find different things. Just try different things, should I say. And now I love it. I love that about me. It's not something that I feel insecure about. But in my early 20s, it's like I didn't even want to tell people what I was doing. Like I wouldn't even tell them like I got booked for a stage play because it's like, okay, girl, you was just doing this last week. Like, but now I love it. I do everything. I can do everything. I'm gonna continue to do everything.
Absolutely. And I think that's definitely the third one. The third one I'll tell everybody is do not listen to your haters.
Okay.
My whole half of one side of my family did not believe in me at all. It needs to keep me up, and I used to be so sad about it. I didn't give a fuck for real though. They did not understand where I was coming from. They didn't see the things that I seen. Everybody that doesn't believe in you, as soon as you make it, they're going to say they believe in you the whole time. So you might as well not even listen to that.
Exactly. That's so true. This is a standard question I ask everybody.
Yeah.
What is the song that motivates you?
The song that motivates you?
A song, any song. You can name 2, 3, it don't matter.
Optimism, The Sound of Blackness.
Yes, that is a good one.
Stay optimistic. It's my song. You can win. Okay.
That's the only one you got?
That's my shit. Loki play that at my funeral. Okay? As long as you keep your head to the sky. Stay optimistic. Amen.
That's true. Amen.
And every time I hear it, I'll be like, "Oh, God, message."
That is. I think that is it something like I think the ancestors be speaking to us through that song. 'Cause I think everybody feel good when they hear that song. Like it's something about that song. What is the biggest misconception of Krissy? What is something that people that don't know you think about you, but isn't true?
They have no idea that I'm nerdy. I'm nerdy as hell. I'm gangster, but I'm nerdy as hell. I really am. And that side of me is hard because I thank God. God is so good, amen, that I found like-minded people from my high school that are both. You feel me? They just as black as me. They just as praise team hallelujah as me. They just as ghetto as me. Exactly. But we nerdy as hell. And we'll be out there like, oh my gosh, what is going on in the freaking anime world? So it's like, they don't, I have a lot of sides. And because they might see me, they might put me in a box. And you know, I've been called the weird girl in my life. But then to some people in my family, I'm ghetto as hell. So, you know, just... I'm multifaceted, I guess. I don't look like I am not my Instagram photos.
That's so crazy you say that because I feel like I have that same issue. And for a long time, I used to try to make sure I looked whatever I was trying to be perceived as. But I was like, listen.
That's hard to do.
Whatever. I'm different things on different days. Like today, I'm on some hood shit. Yeah. Tomorrow I might be on my school nerdy,
Absolutely.
You know, the next day I'm gonna be on my Black Power, you know, Angela Davis.
This morning I'm on a spiritual journey. What's
yeah,
that?
like it's gonna change and it's okay.
Yeah.
I might be listening to Webby one day and I'm like, it's okay. You could still, you know, flourish and be all multifaceted like you said.
Absolutely. I'm all of those things, and that's what makes me a black girl today. I feel like black girls today are all of those things.
Exactly.
We're finally like allowed to be. No,
for real, because for so long it felt like we had to represent a whole, like, as if I wanted, this is a perfect example. I'm glad we talking about this. Suki Hana, how do you feel about Suki?
I think she's a hell of a businesswoman. Wow, you feel me? You took your 15 minutes, you made it an hour. She used to be on Jerry Springer.
No, for real.
Yeah, like she really fought to get to her spot because look at how Sweetie has fallen off.
Yeah, I love Sweetie so bad.
I ain't heard nothing. Sukiana hits from Suki's side to what time you finna come and get this pussy. I'm like, period, Suki.
Suki is brave. Suki is not afraid to do whatever, you know what I mean? But this is what I don't like when it comes to Suki. They try to make it seem like she has to, like, what Lil Mama said to her, as if she has to represent and be a role model and, you know, represent all black women. I don't believe that's fair. She is representing who she is, and that's a hood girl, ratchet girl, whatever it is she stands for. She shouldn't have to represent all black women because we are not one thing.
The girls want her to represent everybody with her character.
Yeah, like and it's silly. The girls in the suburbs don't want to be represented by Suki, just like Suki don't want to be represented by whoever else. You know, we all can be different, and we can all just represent our lane. We're not just black girls. We're nerdy black girls. We are hood black girls. We are, you know,
And we can
all
be
different
all of
type.
that. And the girls in the suburbs might live for Suki.
Yeah, and they definitely
Suki takes
do.
off that wig, them ends are clipped.
No, for real.
That turns into destiny real quick. And I feel like she makes good business deals. Always, even though she promotes sex, I see her always with a mean brand deal.
Who don't promote sex nowadays? Like literally, they really don't have a problem with her promoting sex. I think it's just the fact that she owns her, the ratchetness of her, because they don't have a problem with Kim Kardashian promoting sex.
And she was ratchet for a minute. She had braids and blood scarf outfits on too. I remember
trying to be ratchet anyway.
Front wigs. No, she was, because them first episodes of Keeping Up, they all had on Coogee. Like, let's be
bro.
For real. Yeah, they did. The bitches was in Coogee head to toe. And you remember Kim's first husband was in BMF.
Who?
Yeah, Kim's first husband was a hood nigga.
What was his name?
He was chocolate. He rode motorcycles. He's a BMF.
I thought he
nigga.
was a football dude.
No, that nigga was a street nigga. And her daddy was pissed. And that's what I'm saying, like, representative who everybody's everything. Look at Megan. Megan be having anime references, but she be throwing ass. Yeah,
but it seems like that only happens to black girls, and I hate that. Like, a white girl can do whatever she wants to do. It's not, look, you're making white women look bad. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. A white girl can do what she want to do, and it's not like you're representing the whole white population, white girl population. We do our own thing, and it's like Suki making black girls look bad, and what are the little girls gonna look up to? Nobody cared about the little girls when big booty hoes, pump with it. Nobody cared. Nobody cared about the little girls when I ain't got no panties on. Okay. I ain't got no panties on the dance floor. Nobody cared. Y'all wouldn't think about the little girls. No, we gonna get, that's another topic.
I grew up to Ludacris. What's your fantasy? I was like 12.
Baby, Nelly was swiping a card through a lady's asshole. Okay, 11, nobody said, what are the little girls gonna do, Nelly? Nobody asked that. It was fine, but it's something about the girls that they got them shaking. Yeah. They shaking.
But you know what? Them kind of conversations are just so Lil Mama can get some clout, because nobody's talking about Lil Mama. So those are just publicity stunts that everybody needs to get them talking about.
And it's sad, and I hate that for her. His name is Ibram Kendi. Ibram X Kendi. His name is Be Anti. His podcast is called Be Anti-Racist. I really love that podcast. He's a black guy, yes.
And what kind of podcast is that?
It's basically a social justice commentary type of thing. You know, he's talking about injustice in the world. And the title, Be Anti-Racist, is about teaching black people and white people how to just stop racism in general. I don't know if it'll work, but the idea is great. I love it.
Can I touch on that for a second? My high school experience, I did not experience any racism until I got into my late 20s. Our high school, when I went to Stivers, I went to art school, and they sheltered us from racism to the point where our teachers would pull us to the side and say, hey, I know y'all got this kumbaya thing going on in these walls, but this is not the real world. If somebody was racist in my high school, a group of kids would come up to them and talk to them about it.
Wow.
We would have intervention. We'd be like, you're racist? I'll see their asses at C, because clearly they don't know how we do things around here.
Right.
We did not have racism, so I've seen it be done. Yeah. We accept each other. We didn't even have classism.
Wow. Really?
Hell nah. People was poor as hell. People was rich as hell. And people didn't even know.
But I heard that y'all, I had some friends at Stivers. I heard y'all, there was some people up there cracking on people now.
Probably
I ain't gonna say no names. Yeah, it was
probably the niggas, but not intertwined with the whites. There was some white people that went there that I found out later was rich as hell. Rich as hell. Nice to everybody. Wouldn't even have thought it.
Oh, okay.
Kicked it with the most... bitch with one parent that got one bedroom in her house, you wouldn't even know. So I really didn't see it. Now flaming each other, I feel like that was just
that's our culture. Yeah,
they just
right. I don't think I experienced racism in high school either. I didn't experience, mind you, what I know is that it wasn't until I actually paid attention to it and acknowledged that it actually exists that I started to even notice it. That's why James Baldwin said what he said, like, to be, I don't even remember the quote, but basically to be aware and know what's going on, it keeps you in distress and keeps you stressed out, because once you wake up to this stuff, you notice it all the time. You notice the passive aggressive racism and the microaggressions and just everything. But before, I didn't notice it, even if I did encounter it. But now I notice it all the time. So
I did not notice racism till Trayvon Martin. So that was 2014. So I was 24 when I first noticed racism. Remember that girl who was his friend that was on the phone with him, and she was Haitian?
No, I don't remember that.
She was a heavy-set chocolate girl. Hair was done, and they had her on the stand, and they were being so mean to her. She was on the phone with her friend got killed, and they act like she was illiterate. First of all, she was Haitian. She spoke 3 languages. She spoke Creole, she spoke French, and she spoke English. So her English wasn't all the way clear. She sounded like somebody from Florida. And they called her everything but a child of God. And I was like, oof.
That's sad.
I was like, oof. You gonna be you the victim.
Yeah.
You a young kid and you hear your friend get murdered on the phone, and we're coming at her color, her size, her literacy. That was the first time I was like, oh, y'all out of pocket. It's been up ever since.
And I'm not gonna lie, Trayvon Martin was a turning point for me. I think I cried. I remember crying on my mom's couch. So yeah, that was just horrific. I think for our generation, that was a lot of our wake up call.
Yeah, it was a wake up call for a mess. He's still alive and everything, just living good. A mess.
Girl, I'm so glad you came by today. You got to come back. Okay, we got so much to talk about. I want us to have. No, you good. I want us to, we're going to get into some other things next time. Okay, we talked about the career. We talked about the business. We're going to get into some other things.
Sure.
Because you said I could ask whatever.
Yes, I'm an open book.
And that's what I'm going to do, too. So thank you so much for coming. Sure. Plug your Instagram and all your stuff. Plug it. Let them know.
Oh, everything is Everybody Hate Krissy. If you want to watch me on Roku Channel TV, download the Roku app and look for the Girls Are Shaking TV show. But everything is Everybody Hate Krissy. I'm on every platform. Y'all can find me. Y'all can DM me. I'll write you back.
Don't forget, follow her. Keep up on the news. Keep up on the latest things that's going on. She is hilarious. Like I said, as y'all already know now from watching this, she's funny. And yeah, we're going to see y'all next time on Ladies Night Out. And Krissy is definitely coming back. Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. Peace.